Hey, good morning from the League-Kempner House. I'm here with two of our volunteers. This is Marjorie, who is our brilliant PR person who's gotten us some great articles and news spots. Thank you. But she's also a worker bee. And this is Sandra, who came to our last volunteer. She actually found us through one of the news pieces that Marjorie got. So today we're doing tours, so we need to be out front in case people come, but we always do little projects here. So today's project is something for the chauffeur's quarters. We're reusing an old sink base from the butler's pantry. It was built probably in the 40s to the 60s sometime. We're going to replace it with the original looking sink base and a sink so we can get a dishwasher in there. So we need to reconfigure it, but we're going to reuse it because we want to reuse everything we can. But you can see it's got some great 70s contact paper in it, and it's pretty dirty.
It looks like our old kitchen.
Looks like our old kitchen. So we're going to take this out while we're sitting here and then sand these down so we can prime them and paint them before they go in. So that's what we're going to work on today. Here's all the doors. You can see they're pretty dirty, but it's good plywood. The cabinet is sound, so I'm going to let these ladies get started.
I knew of someone back in the 70s who used contact paper on everything. Fronts of desk drawers, on top of the desk, on a table. Removing all of that stuff was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was.
Getting the contact paper out proved to be a little difficult. Some of it you could get an edge and pull it out in almost a whole sheet, but other parts of it were very brittle and hard, and it just had to be chipped off bit by bit. But these ladies were very patient and persistent, and pretty soon they had all the drawers cleaned out. Okay, I'm super bummed out. My igloo cooler has failed. See all the condensate on there? It shouldn't be like that. I had one that I used for about a year and it failed, and I wrote the company and they sent me a brand new one right away. But this one's probably not 6 months old and now it's failed. So Igloo, you have a manufacturing problem.
Talk about it. It's a very sad
So
day.
I'm officially sad though, because now that it's failed, I can't even carry water in it because it has an air insulation, which means it's like completely sealed. So somewhere in there that seal broke, which means water could be getting in. I don't know where it's failed. So I can't even use it. So bye-bye. Once they finish getting all the contact paper out, we've got to sand that. And what I've got here is a sander, and it's called a quarter sheet sander because it takes a quarter sheet of sandpaper. Some of it's already pre-cut. That's pretty fine. I've got some rougher stuff I want to use, but I don't have scissors. So one way I cut it, you don't want to tear it with a jagged edge, is I fold it and I'll use a sheetrock blade. Press it down, it gives me a nice clean edge. So when they're done with that, we'll load this baby up and get to sanding. All right,
So the question here is, what attempt number is this?
So like number 6, because this is a star driver and I had a screwdriver. Okay, no, no, roll, no, wait, no, wait, there. Okay, I'm just, it doesn't matter, I'm going to cut that off. The goal is to get one in. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
You can let go. No, but I've got to drill the other end. You realize if Stuart were here, he'd make us go get a level.
Yes. Tad lower down. That's not
Well, use my superior eyeball level. Okay, don't move. Change the tip. At least it's up high enough I can't put my eye out. Ready? Okay.
Woo!
Ta-da!
And why are we doing this?
Because,
Voila.
ta-da! Our store.
You need a screw like sticking out so we can hang them this way.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm going to try to do it without pre-drilling a hole. Well, no, I'll probably crack the wood. So these are going to go in the online store. So we will
be $20.
$20.
Plus shipping
Oh.
if you get them online.
But if you come visit us, no shipping. And we're actually going to be fancy and have two styles because we have a volunteer who owns a printing and promotional company, and he's donating 72 shirts to it with a slightly different design. So those will be coming soon. So we'll have two things in the store. Yay!
And I'm finally putting all my many years of retail management training experience to work.
Yay!
Everything comes back around.
Okay, that's good. I'm really big on reusing things that can be repurposed. I think we live in a bit of a disposable society, and it's very wasteful, and I probably get that from my grandmother who lived through the Depression. I just hate to see anything wasted that can be reused. But there's also a big monetary savings here. That stainless steel countertop that's on this sink base, today to buy that could be upwards of $2,000. And with cabinet grade plywood selling for close to $60 a sheet, to recreate this cabinet base today, forget about the labor and everything involved, could be around $2,500. So it's in great shape actually, other than needing a cleanup and a refresh. The wood is quality. The hinges will probably have to be replaced. They're pretty rusty, and we'll probably put some drawer slides in. They didn't have any when this cabinet was built. But other than that, I think it's perfect, and it's a great fit for where we want to use it in the chauffeur's quarters as part of the kitchen. I've got a rag.
Thank you. Not bad.
Yeah, we're going to prime them and paint them, so.
I don't have
Almost
very
there.
much standing experience, so.
Looks like it's coming off pretty easy, yeah.
It's pretty wood.
Sandra had never used power tools before, but she just picked it up so fast. It's not complicated, and she's a great volunteer. She's willing to try anything. She's got a background actually in firefighting. She's been a volunteer firefighter for years, and she's young and strong, so she's the perfect volunteer for us. And I wanted to mention that she's a volunteer who, like Heather and Marjorie and some others like Oscar, they don't wait for a group volunteer day. They call and check in and coordinate with days that I'm going to be down there working, and when it fits in their schedule, they come and work. And it's been amazing. This house needs so much done to it, regardless of your skill level or what you can do. There's a way for you to volunteer if you want to and come help us with this restoration. And we really appreciate all the volunteer effort. It's going to really be what saves this house, is the community's willingness to roll up their sleeves and pitch in. Not come off.
I couldn't get it off. It's the little line is stripped out. couldn't even. I tried twisting.
Try
it off,
twisting
too.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't work either. Just the screw doesn't move. This moves, so.
I'll have to get a chisel and whack it and knock a new groove in it. Yeah, that's good enough for painting.
Yeah. That should be all right. I don't think that needs to be.
Or we can come back and hand just rough that up.
One down.
One down, yay! Meanwhile, Marjorie was working on the very last drawer. She was so patient. This contact paper was so difficult to remove, and I hope it goes a little bit better in the butler's pantry because this same paper is on all of the shelves in there and it needs to come out. At least the part that hasn't been eaten by the roaches yet. So anyway, the day wore on and Marjorie and Sandra had to leave, so it was just Joe and I. And of course, it's been hot and dry. We haven't worried about rain. I had left all the lumber outside that Oscar was using to build those walls in the basement. And of course, this tiny little rain cloud popped up overhead and it started raining. So I decided I needed to go move all that lumber inside before it got too waterlogged. Okay, so
This can't be
so a
good.
funny thing happened while I was moving the lumber. The very first board I took off was on top of a big tall thing of 2x4s like this, and there was a 2x8 on the top.
Okay, wait, I feel like we should stop and we should give them multiple choice of what do you think happened?
And, well, anyway, I picked it up, and when I did, all those 2x4s fell down. And I'm not sure how, but they raked down my leg. And see the swelling here and that big bruise, and then it smashed on my insteps. I have a boo-boo.
Well, it's a good thing your thermos is no longer insulated, so you can use it as a. Wait, you know what? Because I was a Girl Scout.
Oh, it's like excruciatingly painful. I think I might have.
Cold packs.
Not food. You've got it in your lunchbox that says not food.
I know, because we put them in the freezer, and so they look a lot like.
Oh, like a Kool-Aid pop
Yeah,
or
they
something.
look like a Kool-Aid.
Well, guess what? They're not that. Oh my God. I don't know
Oh,
why
they're-
people put ice on stuff, but that's actually.
Well, that's not ice. This is cool. It's not frozen. It's just cold. To reduce swelling.
I've lost the use of my big toe. Oh, my bunion.
Well, what did you really use it for anyway? Here, put on your ankle
Oh, God, it
where
really
the
hurts.
swelling.
No,
where
it hurts down here.
I know,
That's
but
just
put
a
it where the
bruise.
swell. I
That's
know,
just
but
a
put it
bruise.
on there anyway.
What hurts in my foot? That's just a bruise. That's just a broken blood vessel. Not a broken bone or anything.
Well, you know, I still have a bruise from where I dropped the vacuum cleaner on me, like a month and a half ago, and where I closed the car door. I have like matching bruises. One on this side is full. When I closed the car door on my leg.
You're prepared, you know. Oh, it really hurt. But see, you're prepared, but I'm actually more prepared than you because
You already have an advantage.
because I can just do a transfer. Here, I would hold that.
Yeah, here, hold that between your
I'd
teeth.
hold that
What could
between my
possibly
teeth,
go
but
wrong?
that may not.
And what does it say about us that we don't seem particularly concerned about this turn of events?
Oh my God. Oh Lordy. Okay. It'll keep the swelling. It won't do much to support it, but it may keep the swelling down.
Do we need to visit your
You didn't
friends
even
at
ask me.
urgent care?
You didn't even ask me why I have a face bandage on my other foot.
I didn't notice it was under your side. But Since that's an obvious question to you, why do you have an bandage on your other foot?
Because I had one of those. Okay. I'm really not very coordinated. It's been a problem my whole life. I was standing perfectly still,
That was your first
not
mistake.
moving, watering the plant that you told me to water on the porch.
See,
the
now
steps.
it's my fault. This is gonna
And
be
the
my fault.
concrete seal, and even it is right there. And I just scooted about a half inch to the side and rolled off of it. And anyway,
Well, you know, that's how I hurt
badly twisted
my
my
I have a
ankle.
cankle. Like
But-
my still bad
Oh, that's why you have a cankle.
No, it never healed. Remember when I was watering in the front lawn and it just fell over? You sure you don't want these?
Yeah, they're not cold enough.
Well, they're colder than nothing.
Okay. I'm putting my shoe back on because that'll actually keep it from swelling up.
It's your driving foot.
Compression.
You hurt your driving foot.
And I got 2 bad ankles. Oh well, it's raining. I can't do much anyway. Needless to say, between my foot and the rain, which we desperately needed with all this heat, no more work went on. So I'm a little short on video. So I thought I would go back in time a little bit and catch up on something I promised you before. And that is the finished product of the work Heather did on the doors at Angela's house, that incredible dreamsicle orange house that we helped get ready for the home tour. Heather and I are back at Angela's house. We've had a very long, tiring day helping Angela get ready on the final preparation for the home tour. All of her big furniture was here, but all her little knickknacks and small things are still in storage up in Midland. So Heather rated her house. I rated my house. We rated the Lucas apartments. We even rated one of our tenants.
Yeah.
And Sherry, our volunteer down at the League-Kempner House, worked all day in the yard. And some neighbors stopped by and saw her. They got in
Mary.
on it and went to their houses and got potted plants and wicker furniture for the porch. So it's looking fabulous. So, but we are tired. I walked 12,000 steps. Most of them were vertical. I counted from this floor to the 3rd floor where we moved all of the boxes and trash is 46 steps. So how many times did we do that? Probably
I lost count.
20,
After this
25
morning,
times.
I did about
I don't know.
5.
It was a lot. It was a lot. The first area we tackled was the dining room. Angela had some pieces of this gorgeous china, but she didn't have enough to make a full table setting. Heather had brought all kinds of wonderful pieces from her house. She collects china, and she took charge of the dining room. It turned out gorgeous. While she was doing that, I started carrying boxes and trash up and just stowing everything way up on that top 3rd floor to get it out of the way, since that floor wouldn't be on a tour. As I mentioned before, Sherry stopped by and tackled the outside with some neighbors who joined in, but they didn't get very far before Sherry smelled gas and came and got us to check things out. We don't have a spray bottle, but Sherry smelled gas.
Need a spray bottle?
Well, I'm gonna.
I got one in the garage.
Mosquitoes.
Huh?
Oh, and there she is. Okay, see? Right here. Look.
Yeah, right
Okay,
there.
so that's on the gas company side.
Yeah, in the picture?
Yeah, that's on the gas company side. See the bubbles coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Y'all got good eyes.
Problem du jour. So normally I'd use a spray bottle with a little soap in it, but I didn't have one, so I made a big bucket. But this is what it tells you. The gas escapes and makes a bubble, so you can tell exactly where the leak is. So we're going to have to call the gas company. It's on the gas company's side of the meter. A gas leak is not what you want when you're about to have thousands of people come through your house, but fortunately the gas company came out right away and fixed the leak, and we all went back inside and finished work in the house.
That's how I am involved in this, because Angela's my old neighbor.
Okay.
And then Janie works at that League house, and
We used all kinds of tricks to stage this house. We didn't have a lot to work with, but we did find some things in the closets. I had brought pillows and pillow shams and bedspreads over. We didn't have enough pillows to stuff all the shams, so Heather found some moving blankets up on the 3rd floor. We stuffed pillow shams with moving blankets. We used ottomans for side tables. But in the end, every single room got dressed up and looked great and had a few accessories. And while not the final furnishings of the house, it was enough to really show off the beauty of this house. It would have been a shame to stop so close to the finish line and not show it at its best. So we were both very happy with how it turned out, and Angela was very grateful and teary-eyed and so thankful that it got done. She's so incredibly proud of this house and has worked so hard, and it is such a push and a lot of work to get on a home tour like this and have everything ready, and she had already done so much. So we were happy that we could help her out and really make this house shine. That wraps it up for the inside of the house, but I have a few more special things I want to show you thanks to what I call the power of the internet. So let's take a look at that. Thanks to the internet, a woman named Karen from South Carolina has been following the progress on the League house, and she contacted me immediately when she saw the video we did of Angela's house, because she and her husband actually owned that house in the 1980s. She was kind enough to go through and find some pictures for me, and I had a lot of questions for her, so I want to just read you the email that she sent me answering my questions. The roof was gray asphalt shingle when we bought it, but it was replaced with tile after Hurricane Alicia. The beams in the cistern were salvaged from the bulkhead at Lake Madeline, where we lived before buying the house. The house was restored by Shirley Lee, who purchased it from the McDonald's. She grew up in Galveston but was living in Houston at the time. She sold us the house after divorcing in 1981. We only did the typical maintenance things of painting, replacing the deck alongside the kitchen, now removed, the cistern base, and a concrete patio. We weathered a Category 3 hurricane, Alicia, in the house in 1983. The house vibrated so much that the water in the toilet swirled, and the window glass actually bowed out of the front of the house. That window above the front bay blew open, and Ben crawled through the attic in the dark to close it, which saved us from a lot of water damage. The paint was literally sandblasted by 115-mile-per-hour winds. Angela did a wonderful job of recreating the interiors. She changed the dining room size to add the butler's pantry and elevator, which makes the traffic flow easier. Previously, you walked into the east side sunroom and into the kitchen. The sunroom and side porch are no longer there. Karen also reached out and did an amazing thing. She came to Galveston and went to dinner with Angela the night before the home tour and brought her all these pictures so that she can have them in her collection. I know sometimes the internet gets a bad rap, but I have found it's been a remarkable way to connect people and learn more the detail, the histories of not just the League-Kempner House, but other houses and families around Galveston. So thank you very much, Karen, for letting us use these pictures and share your story. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll be a little bit more productive next week, but I will leave you until then with a few outtakes. Did you know that Ace bandages are $13 at Walgreens? So that one came from the dollar store.
I don't know, I've been using the same Ace bandage for 20 years.
Well, I had this wrapped up and I took the Ace bandage off at home, and then I can't find it anywhere. I don't know what I did with it, so I had to go buy another one. So I wasn't going to pay $13 for something I already owned, so I bought one at the dollar store. It's not very supportive. You get what you pay for.
It has no elastic in it.
It was good enough for this. This one just needed mild support. So there you go. But I did move all the boards.
Well, thank goodness that part got done. At least the boards did not get wet.
That feels better. That feels better.